What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Today on the program, speaking of entertainment, I got Sydney Celeste out of North Carolina and the world, of course, because it's all on social media. She's a singer. She's a vocalist, and she does a few other things that you're going to hear about in the next few minutes, I suspect. So stick around. Sydney Celeste. So excited to talk to her. This week's shows, I have one public show for you, my loyal friends. The Rab on Friday night, my regular video dance party karaoke jam. That's right, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open. Oh my goodness, they got some good food. They always send me home with a nice package of food. Oh my goodness, I like it. I like it so much. They got a pool tournament. They got 10 diamond-style pool tables. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really impressive, and the people seem to really like it. So they have a pool tournament on Friday nights. If you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, check out the Rab on Friday nights in Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, you know the place to be. And get your sing on and meet all your friends right there. Oh, always a good time. I'm there from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM Friday nights. That's where you'll find me most Friday nights. At least, 48, 50 weeks out of the year, depending on what year it is. It's only a couple of times I can't make it. But I'll see you next Friday. I hope. All right, and then on Saturday, what do I have? Oh, I have a private party for a nice group of young people and old people all together. I can't tell you much more because it's a private party. So unless you were invited, you cannot come. Why do I mention it? Because it's a nice corporate event, and I enjoy being with people when they're celebrating things, whether they be quarterly earnings or weddings or parties and things. Oh my gosh, I enjoy being a part of the show. Had a great party last night, and so stoked for the next one. Yeah, hit after hit, gig after gig. Speaking of gigs, let's get into it with Sydney Celeste. She's a talented gigging person. She'll be out there, and I hope you get to a Sydney Celeste show. But before that, let's listen to what Sydney Celeste has to talk about. Let's find out more about Sydney Celeste. I got her on Zoom, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Sydney Celeste now. Well, look at that. In my face, Sydney Celeste, as I live and breathe. Oh, the vapors. Oh, stop me now. Woo. Oh, that's beautiful. Good to hear you. Good to see you. This has been a long time coming. So happy to have you in my face and in my ears.
Apparently.
Yeah, if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version because you'll have a Sydney Celeste ready to break loose. We're going to break loose with Sydney Celeste tonight. And, and I'm sure you've heard that in the last ever since you came out with this new release, this new ready to break loose thing that's happening. Is it ready? Is it out there? It's out there. It's out there. I've heard it. I've seen it. I saw it on the YouTube. You were doing it. All right. I'm so excited. If you can't tell already, Sydney Celeste, how are you? For the people that don't know, who is a Sydney Celeste?
Well, first of all, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I hope you are as well. And let's say you said, who is Sydney Celeste? Sydney Celeste is a person who is always trying to just grow and evolve and get better and do better and learn more and never quit. I don't really know. I don't consider myself like a infinite, like this is what I am. I consider myself constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly becoming, never stagnant. I always want to try something, learn something, do something for somebody else kind of person.
Well, you're definitely a fingers in a lot of different pots type of person. I see you're a fellow broadcaster, podcaster. You get out there and you interview the people. You want to learn from folks as well. This is fully and purely selfish on my account, wanting to have you on the show, because I want to know, how did Cindy Celeste become Cindy Celeste? How did you start the singing thing? How did you start the podcasting thing? And tell me about the autism mom thing, because that's kind of a difficult situation from time to time, depending on the place on the spectrum, if they're, the function on the spectrum.
Yeah,
it's different for a lot of different people, but start whatever path you want to go down, because this is all about you. I want to know about you.
Oh boy. All right. So you said what? I think your first question was, how did Cindy Celeste start? I think,
yes.
Right?
Let's do that. Start in the beginning.
Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So basically when I was little, my mom got me into pageantry first. I guess she thought that would be a good segue to get me out there. So then once she saw I could do that, she said, then I became really interested in music, and I showed that my own personal self, like performing in the living room, standing up on tables at places and performing. Okay. So then she said to me, okay, so what do you want to do pageant? Like, cause I think they might have had an idea that maybe I'd like to have been like a Miss North Carolina or something. And I thought about pursuing pageantry, but I said, you know what? I got too much personality. I'm too vocal. There's too much to me to just be encapsulated in just like a picture. So I said, you know what, Mom, I'd really rather pursue like actual entertainment, like voice, like acting, like music, stuff like that. And she said, all right. So then we always went to church. So then she started saying, well, okay, so let's see if we can get you up at church and sing. Yeah, did that till I wore it out. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, are they tired of me yet? Like, how many times are they going to ask me? But my mom was like, well, I mean, it's just, if they keep on, don't say no. If you want to do it, do it. So I did. And then I did local school plays, choir, the local theater stuff. Then we went like outside of my area and sang at different places outside of where I grew up. But when it got to a certain point that it was like, okay, we got to sign a contract kind of a thing. Then that's when my mom sat down with me and had a serious talk about, the music business and stuff like that. And she basically just told me, look, I'm not trying to stop you, but I'm trying to protect you. And she was right. Now that the more that I've seen come along with the entertainment industry, she was right. Like, it was better for me to just, be independent and do what I wanted to do on my own terms with my mother there watching, paying attention, so she could step in and be the hawk if needed to be. And she did, trust me. So I think that's how I became about. And then I am a writer, but I started writing poetry. I got a poem published in a book when I was little. That was another thing which led. So I said, okay, well, if I can write poems, then my mom said, yeah, as much as you talk so fast, turn the music on. There it goes. It's a never ending cycle. Poetry turned into music, and now music is poetry to me. They kind of collide together. So I think that answers how Cindy Celeste started. But just singing wherever I could, writing, being creative, finding places to plug in that were, age appropriate and stuff like that. And also incorporating my faith into what I did. I still do that now, but that was my beginning of that.
Cindy Celeste, you are given words of wisdom right there, and I'm glad you had the mom that you had that had the wherewithal to give you that guidance. Because a lot of people that sign on the dotted line these days, especially, get chewed up and spit out, because with all the social media out there, with the YouTube and the Spotify and being able to, and even the SoundCloud, being able to self-promote, self-produce. A lot of people don't need a record company to hand them a $5,000 advance that needs to be paid back with interest. You come up and I've seen that some of your videos are getting hit after hit after hit, which turns into revenue. Hopefully, some of those hits is turning into money that you can pay your rent in. That way, you don't have to get a day job or a Joe job. You might still have one for the insurance purposes, because for people that are independent artists, you don't have insurance tied to that. So some people get a day job just to tie that, because in this country, that's what happens. Is if you want insurance, you either pay for it yourself if you're super rich, or
I was about to say,
or you get a little Joe job that offers you the insurance that helps you get the doctor visits and all the stuff that you need. But you know what, too,
you just touched on two things that just reminded me. Like you were talking about the signing on the dotted line. Like, I don't know if anybody knows, but recently there was a Christian singer that I liked growing up named Stacey Orico, and a bunch of stuff came out about her and all the stuff she went through. And listen, my mom died in 2009, but she still comes back to me and talks to me, like, literally, she's an angel. So she literally, now when all that stuff came out about Stacey Orico, I literally woke up in the middle of the night because I felt her hand on my shoulder. She popped my hand, and I woke up and I was like, what? And then I heard her say to me, now you understand why I did what I did. You realize she's a Christian singer, just like what you were trying to do. And then look what happened to her. So who's to say it couldn't have happened to you? So she, like, basically saying, like, you should be glad now that you see that I was trying to protect you. And I was like, isn't that just amazing? It come full circle after years of being upset with her for not letting me go further and sticking me in South Carolina. Like, I'm never going to be able to pursue this in South Carolina. She said, yeah, I know, but at least you'll be safe. You follow me? You can sing anywhere. You don't have to be in Hollywood to sing. Anyway, so that's one piece of that. And then what else did you just say about the day job? So actually, I do work with children with autism. So I actually pursued my career working with children with autism, and I'm studying for my bachelor's in psychology, and then I'm going to get my master's in clinical mental social health, something I forget, but to basically be a counselor and then a psychologist. So I do actually work outside of music. I feel really called to, like, really be. To me, I think that's another reason why there's something different about me. I'm not just kind of like I think I'm this or that, so I'm going to stay. I'm not going to do certain things. No, I like to be with the people that other people don't necessarily want to be with. Like, I love sitting there and teaching these autistic children. That's why I do it. You can't do the kind of job that you can't do that and not really have a passion for it, because it's not easy work when you get food thrown at you. You get your hair pulled, and there's all kind of things that can happen. And it's happened to me. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's two more things you just touched on.
Well, I like it that you pursued your different goals. The autism thing, that's a special calling. It's a special type of person that can handle children and even adults that have autism that aren't high functioning. You're going to get food thrown at you. When I was doing karaoke shows, I had one kid named Stone that used to come by, and he would, pretty much scream into the mic, but he loved it. You could see it. That he was finding joy when he was singing an Ozzy Osbourne "Crazy Train" song that I'm sure his parents played for him over and over while he was a kid, and he just enjoyed screaming into the mic, and I enjoyed having him there. I hope the other patrons at the restaurant showed compassion and did not complain too much when it happened, but it did happen, and I've had different brief touches on different types and different people on the spectrum of autism, from people that throw food at you to people that just don't recognize your facial expressions, just don't recognize sarcasm, don't recognize certain, social cues. Tell me about, when you're dealing with people like that, how do you, I guess you have tailored individuals. I might be speaking for you. Tell me about the autism teaching?
Yeah. So, well, you have to get licensed through the state with it, and then some people are one-on-one, some people work in a larger setting. Where I work, it's a one-on-one, and so you're assigned to a child, and then you learn their data sheet, the stuff that the insurance needs for them to see that we're making progress, and we run the goals and stuff like that. And not just the educational stuff, but then the play and the finding what they like and being able to pair you with what they like. And then that can be your guide to be able to get them to do other things. And I've worked with, let's see, a 21-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old. So I've done the full group of them, and it's been really, really, really fun, because when you really get them in a mood and they really start to open up to you, it's really precious. It's really priceless. Many times somebody will walk by and I'll be like, I'm almost about to cry, because I know that I'm making a difference. You know what I mean? I can see it in these people's faces that you're making a difference. As a matter of fact, my son, who has autism as well, he attends a therapy center, and there's a kid that actually graduated from the place that I teach at that goes now to where he goes. And I went there the other day to get him, and the kid recognized me out of it. He said, "Oh, that was my teacher." See, that just made me feel so good. Honestly, that makes me feel better than anything, than music or anything else, because I know that I've done something. I made an impact. That kid was barely talking when they sat me with him, and then by the time we finished, I got him opening up to me, and then before you know it, he was making full sentences, and now he's almost like a regular teenager. So I mean, you just can't. To me, you can't beat that. That I feel like is the best part of me, beyond just, singing and all that is fun, and I'm glad, but that's the best part of me, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's nice to be recognized. I know if I've had 14, 15, 16 years of education, and I can remember one handful, maybe two handfuls of teacher in my life that have really made a difference and an impact, and have, I'm sure that, all the teachers that I'm so thankful they've done their jobs, they've done what they could to make me the person I am today. But those happy few that stick in my mind, that, wow, I really enjoyed that portion of my education. Now you're trying to find the potential in these people, and are you trying to find something that they like, that maybe they can turn into a job, or something that they can be a part of society? Or what is the end goal when you're educating a person that has atypical thinking? The quote unquote norm. What is normal? ADD might not be normal for some, but I think it might be for some others. But what's the goal for most people?
Right. So each client is tailored by their my BCBA will come up with a plan, and then that will tailor what we're going to do with them. So it depends. Like the 21-year-old, well, the problem with him, he actually had like a real severe, like what do you call it? He didn't have autism. He had a very, very severe other type of disorder. And so somebody like him, unfortunately, because of just extreme cognitive and everything delay, there was no way that he was ever going to be able to go out and do anything. But we did what we could to get him as mobile as possible, and to use all of his ligaments. Like his arm was very, he could not stretch it out. But with the occupational therapist, I taught him how to use it so he could use it to maneuver other things, that kind of a thing. Like whatever they can do, we're going to try to expound on it as much as we can. Now, most of the kids I've worked with, I think, let's see, that guy, and then the 15-year-old girl, she's probably in the same boat as that guy. And then this other one, he could probably go on and do, like we said, remember, autism is a spectrum. So you can't, everybody's different. But I think that particular kid, the one that I remember that recognized me, he could probably go on and be high functioning and be able to live either maybe with somebody, but not like to the point, not like it's so extreme like some of these others where they need help doing every single thing. So, it just depends. But we try to take whatever they can do and try to maximize it as much as possible. Yeah.
Well, I, for one, applaud you. Yeah, that's fantastic. You're people helping people. Teachers are a very special type of person. I thought I agree. At one point, people kept telling me that I have the patience to be a teacher, maybe of young children, even the ones that they're just starting out, not knowing anything about this world. Some parents don't teach them before they get to school, like preschool. Some people let them run feral until they get to kindergarten. So that's a special type of person. And I'm sure you've had children that have run feral before they got to you.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're going all the way. You're getting your education. It's wonderful. Thank you, Sydney Celeste, for that. And
absolutely.
Then also,
I love doing that.
Yeah, thank you for the music. I listened to some of your songs, and my goodness, you have the voice of an angel. But you were talking about being a Christian singer, but then you're also on the secular side as well. I liken you to Amy Grant, and I think I've heard of Stacey Orrico. I think she is also on both. She did Christian records, but then I think toward the end she also made like a secular record. Yeah. Record skipping. I think she did a song that I play on RadioWhat.com, but I play some Christian music as well on RadioWhat.com, and what I enjoy so many different types of music, and I'm saying that you like so many different types of music. You've been really foraying into this career at least for the last 6 years, as far as YouTube says. But when did you start going out and either solo or with a band? Because I see you do both. Find you an entertainer that does both. Is Sydney Celeste a solo singer, or is Sydney Celeste a band?
Sydney Celeste is a solo singer now. I had a band in like 2019. I auditioned to be a lead singer of a band, and that was pretty cool for a while, but the band situation didn't work out. But I am a solo artist. Honestly, even when I was growing up, my mom, they bought me a guitar and everything, and she would turn on the camcorder and then put me up there, and I'd try to, and she was like, and she was right. It didn't look natural. I'm more expressive. I like to move, like to dance, and if you got this big guitar in your way, you can't do all that. So, I'm not a musical instrument person. I'm a dance to the music type of person, or, be expressive type of person. My hands, my facial expressions. I can't have something like blocking me so I can't move. I can't be boxed in. Don't make me quote Miley Cyrus. I can't be tamed. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't really like Miley Cyrus. I don't know why did I pop up with that. I am really a mess today. How did I pop up with that? I think because I remember she was in the cage, can't be tamed. That was it.
Yeah, anyway, who knew Miley Cyrus was going to show up on the podcast today? This is great.
Yeah, who knew that? What else what did we say? What did you say? With a band. I do like the band, and I would like to play with some more musicians, but it's just a matter of now. See, my life was a lot different back when in 2019, this was before children. I didn't have as much of a rigid schedule as I do now with a child with ASD. So it's a little bit different because with a band, you need to practice. The instruments have to be right. With me, I just have to make sure my voice matches with the song, and that's it. That's simple. But with instruments, it's a lot more practice involved. So that's my only fear with a band is that I'm thinking I may not have time to practice, and then that's going to mess up the band. You follow me? Because they have to have the singer match the band. So. But I would like to, like, if it was like, okay, they're already up there playing. Okay, good. They need a singer. I'll just go up there and sing and we'll pretend. That would be it. But like to actually be in a band, I don't think I could do that with my schedule, even though I'd like to. But Sydney has pretty much always been a solo act.
Well, I think it's a little more simplified to be a solo act, Sydney Celeste.
Absolutely.
It's tougher to get so many people together in a place and time and try to coordinate schedules. I
started thinking to myself when we were doing this back in the day, because I was trying to get us ready to go and play in a bar, and I thought, oh my God, what happens if we go and book it, and then oh no, somebody gets sick or something happens right before oh my God, because. I mean, granted, though, you can't help those things. It's not like they should be mad at you. But at the same point, if you keep on having to cancel over and over, it's going to get to the point where it's like, just never mind. We're never even going to get out there. So, yeah, I prefer just to be a solo act. Just much simpler.
Reliability is important. Now, you talked about musical instruments. I've talked to so many different artists on this podcast, and some of them are very shy. And they use that instrument to hide behind, whether it be keyboard or drum set or guitar is probably the most popular. To grab a solo guitar, you could stand on the corner, busk, practice your songs, and maybe make some dinner money, but that's really not the point. You're sitting out there, you're mostly practicing your songs and getting the people to hear who Sydney Celeste is. You don't particularly want an instrument in front of you. If judging by the 20 minutes that we've been talking so far or so, you're an outgoing person. You speak to people and you have your own podcast, so you know how to talk to people, how to interact with folks with or without that instrument. Do you play an instrument that you can take it up there? Or is your voice, your instrument, you put on a backing track and go for it?
Yep, that's it. Voice is instrument. I don't play any physical instrument. I like to teeter with the what do you call that? The piano thing, like the electric piano thing when I was little, but I still just never got in it. I was always just to jump up and dance and just go nuts kind of. That was what I did. I could never just stand behind the instrument. My mom said I looked almost like fake, like a plastic Sydney back there just hitting the keys. Like it's just so I can't be boxed in. I'm more moving around. So yeah, as much I do like the keyboard, but it's just not for me, not to play it.
Yeah, I have a full-size keyboard out there. I have no idea how to play it. I've had guitars. I got a ukulele back there. I got a harmonica up there. I don't know how to play the instrument so well. I talk into mics. I like to interview the people, and I play the records. Put the needle on the record. That was my thing. And now it's the digital wheels of steel. Now they're digital records that handle all the MP3s. So if people come to me at a club and say, "Can you? I want to hear a Sydney Celeste song." Bam, there it is, mixed right in. Just easy peasy. And it's nice that you could purchase any song ever made pretty much at the, for $1.99, you got every song ever made. It used to be a crate or two crates full of records that I would bring, and that's what you're going to listen to at the show. Now, with the internet, my goodness, you could put it all out there. When did you discover that the internet was your friend? It can be used for good or evil, but you are out there on social media. You're out there putting your records out there. Are you getting any return from that? Do you feel good about putting up your wares on the internet?
Yeah. I mean, I will say I prefer the olden day, and I guess here I go again showing age. I don't know, but I prefer buying CDs, and there's something special about that time compared to now. I mean, the internet is good if it's like you said, if you're using it for good, it can be good, but I think that things sounded better back in the, like CDs, the quality, it sounded better. Records, the quality, it sounded better. To me, everything almost sounds, just so, I don't know the word. I don't want to step on toes or say, but it just don't sound the same. I get, to the younger people, yeehaw, it sounds great because they don't know what the other stuff sounds like. But, for those of us who remember, how records sound, how CDs sound, how cassettes sound. And remember just the feeling of it, the whole feeling behind it. Like go to the store, physical thing in your hand. Yeehaw, I've been looking for this for 10 minutes, for 10 years or for whatever, like for back in the day, like, oh, I've been waiting for this for 2 weeks. it was different. Unwrapping it, seeing the CD, the little picture booklet thingy. That's why when I made my EP, I released the whole thing with a picture booklet because I like that. There we go again. And like the cassette tape, watching it play back and rewind. I mean, just different. I mean, I like the internet. I'm glad that it has opened doors for, it's easier to put your stuff out there, but you have to remember this. But now, because it's easier, that means there's more things to sift through, and not everything is worth sifting. I hate to say it, but that's how I feel today. It's like it's almost anybody can be an artist. It's a green light for it's almost it's to the point where it kind of has taken away the importance of artistry. Because to me, I feel like artistry is a God-given thing. It's not I'm just going to wake up today and be an artist. No, you have to have it in your spirit. You were created when you were coming along to have that gift to do that. But now it's like people it doesn't matter who it is. Just, okay, we just feel like doing this, so we're going to do it. And to me, that's kind of dampened it. But that's why I prefer the 80s, the 90s, stuff like that, the 70s. But I'm okay with the internet. Let's put it that way. So you said, how do I feel about it? I prefer that, but I'm okay with this. That's what we have to do. So what else can you do, right? So I have to be okay with it.
Yeah, Sydney Celeste, you have to roll with the changes. I over the years, I've had thousands and thousands of records. I'm down to just a humble few, probably sitting right behind me. I have no turntables anymore. They're digital. I'm using Reigns and Pioneers to control the MP3s. But I have one Billy Creone record up there, and the Bree Ogden CD and a Echo 7 CD that have been sent to me over the years. And I put them up on the wall just to promote them. And they're like in every video for me. But one of the things that I enjoy, and I hope, I don't know if you do this or not, Sydney Celeste, when people go to a Sydney Celeste show, after the show, is there a merch table? Or during the show, is there, one of your friends or family that is sitting there working the merch table? Maybe a CD, maybe a bumper sticker, maybe a T-shirt, concert T-shirts. I've had closet fulls over the years, and then when they rat out, I get sad when I have to throw away my old Queen concert shirt or my Duran Duran.
Wait a minute. We can't throw away Queen and Duran Duran now. Hold on.
But I had to because they were so ratty and they were falling apart. You could use it as a dust rag. That's eventually what had to happen.
Yeah, but, my dad is a graphic artist, and he painted this T-shirt of Stevie Nicks when I was younger, and I begged and begged and begged for it. He said, "Well, you're too young. You can't wear it." But I got older. Oh my God, I wore that thing until there was holes in it. I mean, he airbrushed Stevie Nicks. Oh, it was so cool. But you're right. Now it's a dust rag. But you get the point. Yeah. Okay. So you said merch. Okay. So as a matter of fact, I'm working on merch with Big Records now. So I don't have merch yet, but we're working on that. So when we do get the merch, then hopefully I'll have merch to take with me to shows and stuff like that. And that's the plan. And I have a card but guess what? Last time I got so talking to people, of course, running my mouth after the show, I forgot to give out my card. But I have a card that has like my information on it, and then a QR code you can scan that'll take you to my music. So we have that, and then the merch is coming. So we're making progress on that. Who runs the merch department? I'm going to have a conversation sometime this coming week, I believe. We're still trying to schedule it out with one of the ladies who works on Big Records. Her name is Jenny. And we're going to discuss like brand alignment and stuff like that, marketing, I believe, stuff like that, and come up with the plan of what kind of merch we're going to make. I hope I want to make, obviously a T-shirt would be good. Maybe a coffee mug, something like that. I guess whatever anybody wants to buy, whatever Sydney Celeste anybody wants to buy, as long as Big Records is good with it, I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's easy enough to get one of those drop shippers. I guess there's a few different drop shippers that I have my merchandise out on that I don't even touch. They sell it, they put it together, and they throw me $1 or $2 for every sale that comes out. But to make physical items, I used to make hundreds and hundreds of Radio What T-shirts that are out there still in the world. Every time I do a karaoke show, one person or another in the crowd is wearing one of those shirts that I've throughout over the years, and I was like, oh, yeah, you still have that shirt. That's great. A few of them have cut them up into little Caribbean, there's string shirts with little beads on them, and I thought that was pretty interesting that they took the time to make art out of a T-shirt that I threw out, so many years ago. But that costs money. That costs so much money to make your own merch, and then hopefully somebody buys it. I mean, you're not really trying to make money off the merch. You're hoping that people remember your name. Yeah. And with social media, they're going to remember your name as long as you're posting every day. You're telling somebody about yourself. I mean, we've talked about things that were not music that Sydney Celeste is into, how you are a very productive member of society, and you're helping other people to become productive members of society. You said you were going to get into psychology. I took Psychology 101 back in 19, and I think I'm a danger to myself and society. I know just enough to be a danger to people, but you're going all the way. You're saying you're going to get your master's. Are you going to go even further? If the mood hits you, what do you need?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be a licensed psychologist in the long run. I know once I get the master's, I can be a BCBA, board certified behavior analysis. When I get my bachelor's, probably in a year or so, then I can start the board certified assistant behavior analysis, and then I can be the board certified behavior analysis, and then I can be a psychologist if I want to be. But I don't know. We have to see how much steam in the boat Sydney has by that point. But I really want to, because I really feel like those are the people that we need in the world today. We need people who are going to guide people in the right direction, and it doesn't just have to be with beliefs. I'm just talking about just making good decisions. I can help even with just that part, even beyond the faith part. I mean, granted, the faith part is what helps me, but you know what I mean? Like I know the actual stuff, the treatments and all the stuff that goes along with psychology to actually treat people's mental conditions. That's what I'm learning. So that's what I'd like to really do. I've done this with kids, but I'd like to also do it with adults. I'd like to if people want help, I want to be able to give it. Let's put it like that. You can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, but if somebody wants to be helped, I think they should have the right to get help. I feel like in this country, especially, people feel like they shouldn't ask for help, and that's what leads a lot of people down a dark path, and that's really, really sad. We got to take better care of ourselves, and therefore in turn take care of other people. So I just want people to know they have a person to reach out to. Granted, that's my job, but even beyond that, I would be a person who just, if you need to reach out to somebody and talk with somebody about something, I would volunteer to be the person. That kind of thing. It bothers me to see people suffer. I mean, I was adopted when I was little. We didn't touch on that, but so I know how it feels to be. I'm thankful to my birth parents, for what they did, but still, you have this part of me that just, it's like a cut, because like when you get cut, like when you bleed, like that's kind of a wound that doesn't heal. Like I don't know them, and I'm probably never going to know them, and that's my personal decision. But nonetheless, it doesn't take away the fact of that's like a slash that never goes away. So at least I have somebody to talk to. I have other psychologist friends that I know and stuff like that, and Christ and stuff like that. But some people are not so lucky. So since I have those things, I'd like to be able to do that for somebody else. So really everything about me now is centered on trying to help others. I used to be selfish years ago, but not anymore. I realized that life is so much bigger than Sydney's music and Sydney this and Sydney that. I try to think outside of that now. So yeah, I've come a long way, because I did not sound like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I was really self-obsessed.
Sydney Celeste,
all kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. These are the things that have shaped you over your life. There's one thing to have faith, but faith alone faith away the ailments that people have. Faith without works is dead. And,
right.
God helps those who help themselves.
That's right.
We got to help each other. You've already touched
right.
that you're taking care of yourself. You make sure that you are centered where you need to be, and then you're helping to help the people in the community, starting with your own family and working your way out. These are the things that we need to do as a society. Yeah. But you're taking the steps to become the best Sydney Celeste that Sydney Celeste can be. Now, the faith, does that affect still your songwriting? Is it all? It's not all faith based when you write your songs, because you sing secular songs from other people, maybe some covers. Yeah. But you are all the songs that you're writing. Do you have God in mind, Jesus Christ in mind when you're writing them, or do you write from different points?
Pretty much. I mean, if I think about it, let's see. But there was a few years back, right before I got really onto Christian music, I was doing some more positive messages, inspirational stuff, like working through my own problems that I had, kind of a thing. But then when we hit, what year did In Spite of Me? I think 2023, that's when I put out my first Christian song. And then every song since then has been Christian music. I feel more compelled. I feel like that's something that's guiding people with knowing Christ. To me, it feels like it's the most important message that needs to be said. Because to me personally, I feel like we're living in the last seconds of this world. So I feel like as more we can get that message out, the better, in my opinion. Now, does that mean that I did not grow up with any secular music and don't like any secular music? Absolutely not. That would be a bold-faced lie. Okay, nobody's playing games. But I don't sing anything that I think is, that is not, that has some type of nasty message or whatever. I won't sing anything like that. Talking about human emotions and being a person and how people feel and how that relates to what they do, I'm good with that, as long as it's not anything repulsive, like I said, or anything below the belt. But yeah, I like both. I like both sides of it. I just keep it clean. That's the only thing. Whatever we're gonna do, we just keep it clean. Period. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, whatever makes you feel good. I play at clubs and I play at restaurants and I play for children's parties and adult parties. I did a party last night. My goodness, it was the whole family, a spectrum from people to babies that just came out all the way to 99-year-old people, and it was a block party last night, and it was a good time, and my selection of music to play for the people. I mean, it wasn't just Americana music, but it was also, some rock, some pop, some Christian music, and they were all singing karaoke too. And they asked me, hey, what song should I sing? And I say, you sing what you want, what you feel. That's what a karaoke show does, is it brings different types of music together. But if they go to a Sydney Celeste show, they're going to hear different types of music. When you're coming up with your set list, and do you come up with a set list? When you come up with your set list, are you thinking about, what to sing in a certain type of order, maybe thematic, or when you get to the show, you're like, these people are country folk, or these people are rockers, or these people are kind of a disco vibe, and they're in their 40s. You know what? Is that when you come up with a Sydney Celeste show? How do you formulate it?
I think about it going forward, because I practice what I'm going to sing. So I come up with a few different type of songs I'm going to sing. And sometimes I'll think about an order, but then you're right. Sometimes I'll get up there and I'm like, oh, I was going to do that song first. Well, I'm not now. I'm popping out. I'll do another one first. It just depends. But I try to have a plethora of stuff ready to sing, so that it's whatever, when I get up there, whatever strikes me, I have something that goes with what I'm trying to do. I try not just to stick to, like you said, country or pop or hip hop or R&B, because what happens if the crowd you're in front of, that doesn't match with what they like? So I try to have a little bit of each genre, so that, granted, you can't do I don't have a whole set list of that, but I can do at least one or two songs of something they'll like, and do the rest of it. They can, whatever they want to do, they can go to the bathroom or tune me out or whatever, but at least I've got something that they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your latest offering, Ready to Break Loose, you mentioned hip hop in that last paragraph. You rap. When did you figure out that you are a rapper? Rapping, Sydney Celeste.
I don't know. I really don't know. I love TLC and I love Lisa Left Eye Lopez so much. She was so brilliant. Her songwriting was so brilliant. And now, honestly, when I think about myself and I look at her, I'm like, crap, that we have things in common. Like, remember what she did in Honduras? She's going to help the people. I'm like, oh, crap, it's getting real now. And then I started playing with the No Scrubs rap, and I can rap it all the way through. And I was like, well, dang, this is pretty cool. And then I was like, you know what? I love this genre of music so much. Why don't I do like a Christian hip hop song? And I took a major risk because there is that really genre is not really much. But I said, but once again, Sydney Celeste don't operate really on what everybody else is doing. I kind of operate on whatever God puts in my heart, whatever I feel is going on that I should do. So I said, okay, hold on a minute. And then boom, I found a track that I like, and the cadence of what I wrote matched the beats of the track, and it just came out, and I was like, wait a minute, these one parts can be spoken, like you said, rap, and yeah, it really worked. I really like that. I really do like this sound a lot. I love, because when I was growing up, R&B and all in hip hop, it had a big resurgence, and so when I could listen to it, my mom would try to block it most of the time. But when I could listen to it, I love the beats and I love the dancing and da-da-da. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I definitely, I'm ready. I want to do something like this. So, yeah, I was glad to do it.
Yeah, memorizing raps when you were back in the 70s and 80s was great because it was pretty much, from the east to the west, I'm the best. From the north to the south, I got the mouth. And it wasn't anything that was crazy terrible. My favorite rapper of all time is Heavy D and the Boys. Oh, yeah. But I liked, the educated rapper, KRS-One, because they were clean. Even Cool Mo D, they didn't curse. It was not till 1988 when Two Live Crew wrecked everything and changed the whole game. Yeah. But before that, it was, rap was, just rapping about what was going on and that I'm better than you. And I can speak my mouth better than you. But I memorized raps as well when I was growing up. I mean, who were the rappers that you were memorizing their raps from?
Well, most of it was like I just said to you, Lisa Lopez. I loved her raps on Waterfalls, on No Scrubs, stuff like that. And I did love Eminem. Now, granted, minus the cursing, but there's a few songs like on that, what was the album, Recovery, when he finally came back and he was straight again. Oh boy, he blew the house down on some of those. I liked Eminem. I like Ludacris a lot, even though he can still get a bit wild. Oh, and I love the new T.I. song. Did you hear the new T.I. song?
I have not. I will check it out.
Okay, I like T.I. That's a good one too. But I think my favorite rapper is Lisa Lopez. There's something about that woman. I wish she was still alive. Something about that woman. I'm not trying to, but I'm just like, when I think about the kind of things she was doing, it kind of matches how I'm doing. So it made me feel some type of way. I was like, oh, okay, this is strange, but I like it. This is strange, but I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Lisa Lopez. If you haven't heard her story, dear listener, find a podcast that talks about her. In fact, I might do a little video here and there for TikTok and Facebook. She has a story and she cared about people. Wearing the condom in her left eye was not just for funsies. She really cared about people getting STDs and certain, just AIDS was pretty much the big one that she was worried about.
That's what I'm talking about. Like back then, like see how you talk about like she cared. Like it's a different kind of a thing. Like it almost was like today, like artistry is like it's just about however it looks on the internet. But back then it was different. But thank God, I still operate like the back then person because I relate to like what you just said. Like what I say in my music, I actually care. I'm giving you a message that's coming from my heart. I'm trying to deliver something good, similar to like what you said. But when I think about today, I'm like, some of it is just like, I hate to make that face, but I'm like, it's just, there's nothing there. I hate to say, but It's like there's nothing, it's a box with no chocolates in it. What good is it? You know what I mean? There's nothing, there's no soul.
Yeah, you made me think about history just now, back in the 1800s when the robber barons were getting. But eventually Rockefeller and Carnegie and even J.P. Morgan and those, they took a lot from people, but they also gave back. There's a reason there's a Rockefeller Center and there's Carnegie Hall and there's all these places. Right. Once you get, with this nice capitalism that we've come to love and hate at the same time, once you get, you got to give back to the next generation. You cannot take it with you. So what is the point?
That's right.
And what you're doing is you're getting that knowledge and you're giving it back to the people through your autism teaching and through your music as well. All the experiences that you have, you're able to make poetry and turn it into song. Incredible. Who's making the beats for you? Yeah. Do you have a DJ? Do you have people that make the beats that you can sing over, or are you creating them yourself?
So I'd love to create them myself. If I had time, I'd learn how to do that. But there's different beat stores I found through the internet and stuff like that. I'll just go purchase the beats from them. But I'd love to have somebody personally make them. That would be cool. But that requires even more Sydney time, and it's not always that simple. But if I ran into somebody that could do it, I would certainly link that up. That would be cool. But typically I'll just go and search until I find what I like, and then I'll purchase it, and then it's mine, and then I'm ready to break loose on it.
Yeah, I used to play with Fruity Loops and make my own beats, but it is time consuming. I think now it's called FL Studio, not promoted by not sponsored by FL Studio, but I got to give them a shout out because they were the ones that got me making beats. But I stopped doing that because you're right, it is time consuming. But you just gave me an idea. I know when I was working with a Christian rap group, I would provide the music for them. I would play their beats and put a little spin on it and provide the sound system. And they would rap and they would sing about Christian things and give glory to Him and all that. You could find yourself a DJ and have make it, but just strip it back to old school where it was 2 turntables and a microphone. You had a DJ and an MC that were hyping the crowd up. You could be the MC. You would have a DJ in the back because you got your little raps and you got your little songs. You could do both. And get your. I mean, are there any DJs? I guess you're still in North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Oh, find yourself a DJ in North Carolina that'll work with the Celeste, Sydney Celeste crew. And I think it's easier to bring 2 people to a show than to bring 5 or 6. I think you can coordinate a little easier with 2 people.
I was about to say the only thing you have to concern is the coordination part. But you're right. One more person might not be that big of a problem. It'd be 5 or 6 that would be unbearable to handle sometimes. But that would be cool if there was, if I knew somebody who could do it, sure, and that I get along with, and that's not going to do X, Y, and Z things. You already know. So
Well, as we're landing this plane, is there anyone that's helping you produce the songs and produce the videos that you put out there?
Yes.
Because I noticed there's a lot of live videos, but the latest one has a produced video of sorts.
Yeah, so that one I did with a photographer that shot the cover image for the song. She just shot that video of me in her studio. That's all we did there. And then, what did you say? The live videos? The live videos, all I do is just put my phone right there and record it live. It's not edited or produced or anything like that. It's just right there live. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Hit the button.
Who's helping you produce your tracks? I'm aware of the live stuff.
Oh, you mean produce tracks? Okay, Ready to Break Loose was done by Joey Bars. He lives in Raleigh. He's a great producer. He does great hip hop, R&B work. Let's see, the one before that was done by Matt Horton. He's a Post-Pro Studios in Raleigh. He travels all over the world and does sound for Matchbox 20 and all kind of stuff. He's pretty cool. The one before that was done by Mark Samaro. He was in Sonic Wave Studios in Fuquay. I think he closed up shop. I don't think he operates anymore. And my whole EP was done by him. So Those were done by him, and then the other one with Matt, and then the last one with Joey Bars. And probably going forward will be Joey again, because I'm on a good, I like my R&B pop streak, so I think I'm gonna stick to that. What I've been writing lately goes along with that too. So I want to do more of that.
Sydney Celeste, I'm glad you give credit where credit is due. Any other shout outs you want to give? I know you already gave Big Records, but if you want to talk a little bit more about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been really, really excited to finally find something, a group of people to work with. Because remember, this is what I said to you earlier, that my mom was talking about the reason I wasn't going to da-da-da-da-da. But I think you know a lot of them as well. You know, Tara and Mark and stuff like that. So they're just so not, just not only are they nice people, but I mean, the heart behind what they try to do, just like it really suits me, because I try to help people. So what we're trying to do, raise money for others and help people, along with, helping Big Records at the same time. So you couldn't have a better scenario. You really couldn't. I love all of those people, and I love what the kind of message that we're sending and what we do. Plus, then, they're just easy to get along with. I have not had any problem at all. Like, find me an artist that can say that everybody at their record company is just so smooth and easy to get along. You won't hear it, but that's my reaction from them. Everyone that I dealt with, they're trying to help you. They have the means to be able to help you do this and that and the other. They're not, and they don't try to control anything you do. That's another thing. That's another one of those huge things that my mom was concerned about before. They're going to try to make you into this and make you. No, absolutely not. You're completely your own artist. In my opinion, that would be my message. Any other independent artist, if you're looking for somebody to help represent you, who's going to, give you the liberty to be you, I would say you need to go to Big Records, because they're going to do you right. Mark is great, and he's got a lovely team of people that are going to do you right, and you're going to, not only are you going to be able to put out what you like, but you're going to be surrounded by other like-minded people who are doing the same thing. That builds a community, and that's something that you just don't get anymore today. So that's what I would do. I recommend any independent artist to go to them.
Yeah, I'm glad to know them over the last few years. Anybody who can help other people and make a living out of it, that's fantastic. You're on a mutually beneficial highway right there. All right. Well, sure. Sydney Celeste, we've gotten a little idea of who you are. I've got all your social media sitting there in the show notes. So if anybody wants to do some clicking, you got a website, you got a link tree, and that leads you every place else that you need to be. Who built your website? Did you do that yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I think I built it with Wix. What is it? SydneyCelesteMusic.com. I built it with Wix. And actually, Dave LeBlecki, that works at Big Records, he does the website stuff, but he looked at mine and he said, it looks good. We don't have to touch it. So there you go. So apparently I did good.
Dave put the seal of approval on it. Dave
put the seal of approval on it.
Well, what's the best way to get a hold of you if they want to collaborate and listen? If any DJs are listening right now in the Raleigh and the North Carolina area. All
right. My email, that's how I would contact me. officialsydneyceleste@gmail.com. That's the fastest way to get to me. There is a contact page on on Big Records. I think there's a contact page, but you could just send me an email directly, or you can go to the contact page, however, but that would be your best way.
All right. Anything we didn't get to that you want to put out to the peoples?
I don't think so. I think we got it all.
All right, let's take this thing home. I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, a mantra you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Sydney Celeste, ready to break loose. Give the last words for the people.
Let's see. Last words are, oh gosh. Shoot, there's so much. I love Mr. Feeney at the end of Boy Meets World when he said, dream, do good, try. I love that. Those will be my last words. I love Mr. Feeney. There we go, back to showing age again. But yeah, that's what people need to know these days. Like, use your brain, not the computer, not AI. Use your God-given brain, dream, do big, do good things, and try. Just go out and and find what you love and try to enrich your community with something you love. That would be my last words.
Well, there you have it, party people. Sydney Celeste. Check out her website, SydneyCelesteMusic.com, and find out more about Sydney Celeste. Follow her around, stalk her. Yeah, she's a nice lady, and she's taking care of herself, and she's taking care of the people around her. Having an autistic child of her own, she decided, well, I'm sure she decided maybe, I can't even remember if she's decided before or after to become an autistic teacher. But that's great. That is great. These are people that need more than some other people might need, and she's willing to give more. Thank you, Sydney Celeste, for being a part of the What Makes You Famous podcast. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for letting us in on what makes Sydney Celeste. I appreciate it. Have I said Sydney Celeste enough? All right, one more time. Sydney Celeste. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now if you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.